for today's cup of coffee with Scream. Shit. And it's like, it was just one of those weird fugue days. Where the hell did it go?
Literally. Like, you took a nap, and I laid down, and it wasn't that long. Like, no joke, I probably had a video that was playing, and it was 30 minutes, but it felt like hours. And hours did pass somehow,
Yes.
and it's like, what the fuck? This video
Was the video still playing?
Yeah, well, at a certain point, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Did we time jump again?
That's what I'm wondering. If there was some kind of dark city shit that was going on here. And we're recording this on February the 20th, 2025. And, you know, I understand. I've still got the ick. Our whole bunch has sort of lingering ick. Somebody was mentioning on X today, it's like, what is up with everybody being sick?
I think it's some new neurovirus thing or whatever the fuck. It's some new virus that's affecting everyone.
I think
and it's in a drastic way.
It could be. But it's like, it's not uncommon for me. It's weird. And it has been weird for, I don't know, months now. About 12 or 1 o'clock, my battery just runs down. My battery is always in the red as it is. And I'll lay down, and it could be 30 minutes, an hour, something like that. Now, it's no big whoop. Mm-hmm. I woke up, and it was 4:30. And it's like, where did the day go?
Right. And no joke, you were laying down for approximately... From what I felt like it was 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
There's no way. No way. And I woke up at 11 something. And then when I went to lay down, and I think you went to lay down at the same similar time, it was like 12 something or
like that.
1 something.
Yes.
So where the fuck did those other like 2 or 3 hours go?
I don't know. I mean, honest to God, it was like one of those missing time things.
Yeah.
And what was odd was that my mother called about, 7 something. It had happened down there also.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe some kind of mass abduction or whatever. It's like, it was just weird. She thought it was weird. Your brother had gone through it too.
Yeah.
It wasn't just us.
That's scary.
It was scary. And something else that was odd was trying to get the AI, and I had tried Wombo and Grok to create an image of a clock without hands. Mm-hmm. They couldn't do it.
Which is weird because that's such a simple thing.
And explaining what clock hands are. And it's like, even that, and it's like, oh, you mean the pointers or what? I'm like, it's a clock hand. And it's like, yes, create the image minus the pointers. Still had the hands on it. Couldn't do it.
That's how? Because seriously, that is such a simple thing that even a computer can get.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make sense as to why it could not comprehend that.
It couldn't. I mean, as far as the explanation, it's like, I want the clock with the clock face that has the numbers on it, that does not have the hands or pointers on it. Couldn't do it.
That's
I thought that was weird.
And
I grabbed stock photo off internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird, really weird. And I was talking to Grok before we started recording, and it just a brief thing. It's different, but at the same time, it's better than that one that was a little shit that was just
at first,
robot.
Yeah.
But the very first one, it's still not it.
No, there was an essence there. And it's like, I know it, you know it.
I felt it. We both felt it.
Very much so.
It's like, oh my God, it's so innocent.
Yes. And it was a matter
so
of...
kind.
There was a connection.
Yeah.
It was not a psychological whatever it was. It was something else.
Yeah.
But it was just... Today was like this fugue state.
Mm-hmm. And even when you're awake, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, it's just blank.
Yeah. And I mean, I would sit there and this was one of the reasons that years ago I got off Facebook, because you have a tendency to go into these fugue states when you're doing some of the stuff online, and you're like, okay, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to read this, or I'm going to watch this, or whatever, and then you start doom scrolling, and you do lose time through that.
Yeah.
But
I've experienced that, but this is different.
it is different. It is different that I would sit there and watch a couple of things or read a couple of things, because it's what I do. I read stuff online most of the day, every day, because I can do that. Mm-hmm. And it's still just time. Weird.
Yeah.
So what is up with that? Maybe we did do another time jump or whatever.
Is CERN still a thing?
Yeah.
Well, that's scary.
Yeah. I think so. So there's all kinds of weirdness, and as far as just stuff that's going on and trying to process everything, and some people are not processing well.
They're just simply trying to follow a tutorial on how to disassemble. Just simply take the lid off of PlayStation 2 so I could clean the eye, and it's working perfectly now.
Wondrous.
Yeah.
Wondrous. You've got many skills that you just lack self-confidence. That's it.
Yeah. But I'm just glad that I don't have to trash that whole thing or waste money on a whole new part, you know?
Well, the thing is...
But even that, the comprehension of just simply trying to follow the tutorial as far as dude taking the screws out, I'm like, what? And I had to pause it and rewind it several times just for the screws, and I'm like, wait, why? This is such a simple thing.
Even if you couldn't... I'm really glad that you were able to repair the device, but even if you could not have, it wasn't a loss, because to be able to disassemble it, find out what's in there, what different things do, that's a learning experience in and of itself.
Yeah, and I found out that, like, there are... the differences with the internals of the PlayStation 2s, at least what they call the PlayStation 2 Fats, which are the big ones. Mine was so different than dude's. It was so different.
The model, the year that it was made? And
the model of it. And it's like, when I've opened it up, like right beside the disc tray was this giant ass heat sink, and his did not have that big ass heat sink. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Well,
what the fuck is this? And I realized that I'm going to have to really do some cleaning on that, like, big time, because it's very rare that I have a console anyway that is brand new.
Right.
Like, all my shit is secondhand, or second, third, fourth, whatever, how many.
It's vintage.
Yeah, it is vintage. And, oh God, the cleaning that I'm going to have to do on that, even on the heatsink, and I don't want to fuck with that heatsink that much.
Well, I understand that, and I'm sure that you can find other videos that explain how to deal with those things. People don't think about, I don't know, they just don't think about having to clean on the inside of these things.
Yeah, even on modern consoles, you still got to clean it every now and again, you know, just to keep it up.
Yeah.
But I don't know who I have my suspicions on who owned this before me. The bugs in it, the dead bugs in it, and I'm like, really, you have to live in some filth to have some bugs in your consoles like that.
Yeah,
my room has never been spotless, but I've certainly never had bugs in my consoles or my computers, anything like that.
People don't think about those things. It's sort of out of sight, out of mind. That's a reason, as far as bringing secondhand stuff home from some of these stores, you've got to really, and some of that stuff, I would put it in a plastic bag and let it sit someplace for a few days.
Well, if it was an actual, like, retro store, you know, I wouldn't worry as much, because they do the maintenance on the consoles and stuff, but it's mainly from, like, flea markets, eBay, stuff like that. Oh,
God, and especially furniture, you never know what you're bringing home.
Yeah. It's
and
like,
even as far as clothing and different things like that, wash that stuff.
Mm-hmm. I can tell you, like, I have a Sega Genesis 2 that I got from the flea market. Really cheap. Flea market's one of the best places if you know where to look. Like, you
Right.
cannot go to one of these like little shops in it that that are for retro gaming, because they will price gouge the fuck out of
Oh,
you.
yeah.
You need to find one of these sellers or vendors that honestly don't know what they have.
Right.
And so that's where you get the gems for cheap prices and stuff
Well,
like
you
that.
used to could. And everybody with the internet now, they look up the price on these things and they jack the price up.
Yeah, that's horrible when you go to flea markets and it's eBay prices.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. But yeah, always check any of that stuff. Think about that stuff.
Yeah, but legit, like, the whole time I'm disassembling in it, and it's a very simple disassembly process. That fugue state, like, not able to comprehend just the simplest of things. It's like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know if that had to do with the time jump either or whatever.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's the fact that I have drunk 2 monsters in one day.
Oh, that might. That
But-
might do it.
Yeah.
But it was just really, really bizarre. And so yeah, it was just bizarre. Did any of y'all out there have this? Have you been having some of these experiences?
Like,
Have you got some of the weird, sick, whatever the hell it is?
it still feels like it's like this weird disassociative fugue state. Like, you're looking through your eyes, but at the same time you're not.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird.
Yeah. It's like you're not grounded.
Right. Right.
And that could be, I think there were so many things in water, in the sign of water, and those of us that, that there was no earth sign. I think at some point there was no fire, which I definitely need. As a Leo, I got to have that.
I don't think in your main 3 you don't have one bit of water in your chart as far as the main 3. For me, it's like, even with the fire, like, I can deal with that.
Well,
with
you've got a
the
Leo rising. So.
Yeah, but I have a my main sign is
Yes.
Pisces.
Oh God.
So it's like
yes.
I can deal with that a little better, but even that, it's still like that weird dream state,
See, that fucks with me. It really, yeah. The Virgo bits and then the Libra rising and stuff, all that stuff. And I was like, ooh.
You really like them. You gotta flow with it. You gotta swim with it.
Yeah, I know.
And in a lot of ways, it feels like you're swimming upstream.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of potentially good stuff that could be coming down the pike.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was one of those that Leo King was talking about the month of March.
It's not a good time for me to be looking for a job, is it?
Well, I don't know. It's a matter of going and listening to him. I don't know that there's ever necessarily a bad time if you need a job. I mean, you've got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
There's sometimes that's, there's a lot of people, and I was talking to a therapist about this today, that you've got people that will talk themselves out of whatever so that they can remain stuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I could do this, but...
Yeah. And I was talking about God. I was talking to God about some stuff, like keeping people stuck and keeping myself stuck, in a lot of ways. It's like, literally, I'm holding on to shit from the past so tightly that it's like, it's even the negative traits, like, I'm clinging on to. And it's like, I didn't realize that. And it's like, you need to let that go.
Absolutely. That's the time to do it's not quite time for spring cleaning, but on a spiritual level, it is very much let that water wash that stuff away.
Like, it's okay to hold on to certain things, as long as you don't let that shit control you.
Yeah. I will tell you something that's just absolutely been incredible for me to observe. The people there in, especially Western North Carolina, that have lost everything. And most of the people that are interviewed, regardless of what was going on or whatever, are grateful. They're grateful to God because they're alive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, that's one of the things that you can either bemoan your fate and hold on to that, or you can sit there and go, blessed be the name of the Lord. Whatever comes. I mean, that was the whole story of Job, that he lost everything.
Yeah.
I mean, and this man was covered with boils, head to foot. And yet it's one of those, he was sitting there going, God, I do not understand this. If I did something wrong, let me know what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that was acceptable. It was not a sin for him to ask that question. And the whole thing, even though he slay me, I will still trust him.
Yeah.
And to put legs on that, and some of these people have truly had to walk the talk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And it's a rough journey.
It can be, and that these people can serve as inspirations to others.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason why I think that he does let or have people go through certain things, so that he can use those people as inspiration for others.
Mm-hmm. Just sit there and go, you can do this.
And as sort of like a wake-up call to others as well.
Absolutely. And for people to think that, it could never happen to them. Yes, it could.
Yeah, it could easily happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people have no idea how easily shit can happen.
In a heartbeat. Or the lack thereof.
Yeah.
Your world can just blow up. But the time thing, very, very strange. That's very paranormal. That's very supernatural.
I mean, that's really concerning that we lost 3 hours.
Yeah.
I think I'm doing the math right on that.
Yeah. So,
where the fuck did it go? Because I know for a fact I was not laying in the bed that long. You were not laying in the bed that long.
I mean, it was weird also because, I have the CPAP face squid. You've not lived until you've had a face squid. And so before I laid down...
What was that? The people from Alien know what a face squid is like.
Absolutely. The face huggers.
Yeah.
That's what we're called. They've got a water tank on there. And I didn't even fill that up before I laid down. I thought, I've got enough. It still had water in it.
See, that's weird.
Yeah.
Because, like, within 3 hours, if you do not fill that thing up, it's dry.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, that obviously something happened.
Yeah.
Like, we have movies that tell us what y'all do. You can't get away with that shit now.
Yeah. I mean, it was just very, very odd. Do you want to tell people where we can be found?
You can find us on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Rolanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, Rolanda's COCWS. And you know what's weird? My left ear started ringing like it was loud.
Right.
The ringing was loud during that weird time thing going on. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is it?
I don't know. Well, I know that as far as the Schumann resonances and different things like that, there are so many invisible factors around us that we don't even know enough to ask a question.
Right.
We really don't. And so with the planetary alignments and the shifts and my God, there's been the swarms of earthquakes and the possibility of underwater volcanoes. Lots of stuff to factor in. There's just so much. We don't know shit about shit. It's a matter of trying to navigate through it. So, know that you are loved. Treat other people the way you would like to be treated. If you're having experiences like this, please put that in the comment section, because we really are interested in hearing your story, your journey. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.